Hi everyone, and welcome back to my 9th 21 wildlife walks. Today I'm back home in West Sussex at the Knepp Wildland, which is a well-known rewilding estate which is home to this amazing mosaic of habitats, including this scrubland you can see behind me, which is really good for things like lesser whitethroat and of course the nightingale, which does really well here. I can't wait to walk around and show you some of the amazing habitat and species which call this place home. So I've just been walking around on one of the footpaths here, and already I've seen a lovely group of fallow deer bucks, including a darker one which I think is probably melanistic, and that was really impressive to see. Also lots of butterflies when the sun was out, like gatekeepers, meadow browns, marbled whites, which are always lovely to see. Hoping for purple emperor later maybe, fingers crossed. Also some chiffchaff singing away, lesser whitethroat with its really scratchy call, and bullfinch as well. So Knepp is actually home to the White Stork Reintroduction Project, and behind me here you might be able to see a big oak tree, and here is a couple of white stork nests. And actually this was the place where white storks bred a few years ago for the first time in over 600 years. So now I'm joined with the senior ecologist here, Penny Green.
Hello.
Hi Penny.
Hi Maya.
It's great to be with you on this lovely day here at Knepp. So we're going to be talking a bit more about Knepp and its rewilding and everything it does here. So first of all, what does rewilding mean here at Knepp?
So rewilding means different things to different people, but for us here at Knepp, it means giving the landscape a chance to have natural processes come back again. So with the kind of self-willed nature of the large herbivores that we've got here, so we've got longhorn cattle, we've got roe deer, fallow deer and red deer. We've got Exmoor ponies, our wild horses, and the lovely Tamworth pigs, and they're tiny little piglets. They're so cute. Got to be very professional about them though. And the idea is that all of these animals can be free roaming. They can go where they want to feed and where they find water and where they want to have their young and that kind of thing. And this in turn makes this amazing, rich, dynamic mosaic of different habitats. It's really complex with loads of edge, loads of space for wildlife. So for us, it's just giving the place space to be able to do that, to let those natural processes come back. So all of these animals, they're all feeding in different ways. They're pushing back against succession. That's where the scrub is marching out and the animals are grazing and browsing and pushing it back again. But also the disturbance, so the pigs are rootling away with their snouts, they're turning over the soil looking for things to eat, but that's creating this disturbance in open ground. And they're also, all of these animals are moving seeds around in their hooves and their trotters and their guts and their fur, and also moving nutrients around the site as well. So all of this is creating a dynamic live system that every day is changing and it is interesting and creating loads of opportunities for wildlife.
I mean, I've been coming here for the last 5 years or something, and even so over those 5 years I've seen it change so much, and
it's amazing. And we never know what we're going to see one day to the next. You've got wonderful things turning up here and showing how this was a previously intensively farmed landscape just 20 years ago, and just to see the change from those fields full of crops. So it's a much more wild and beautiful system that's just giving space to nature, which is and space for people to enjoy nature as well. It's a very big thing for us is to have people here enjoying it.
So you've got lots going on here at Knepp. What's your favourite project going on at the moment?
Well, I have to say my favourite project at the moment is the beavers.
How could it not be?
I know, they're so cool. So we have a male and a female beaver in a 2-hectare pen. They're completely enclosed at the moment, but we hope one day we'll be able to let them out into the wider landscape. And it's just been amazing. In the short time that they've been here, just 18 months, they've created this wonderful wetland where we've got loads of life pouring back into the landscape here. And also it's holding on to water during drought. So last summer, when we had like 3 or 4 months of no rain at all, it was this oasis in an otherwise very dry landscape. And there was dragonflies, there's lots of little insects, there's hobbies swooping in to feed on the dragonflies, there was kingfishers fishing there. We had reed buntings and reed warblers turning up in those areas as well. So it was kind of all of a sudden this like burst of life came back to that little area. And I think, God, we could see how over the whole of the Knepp estate, if not further afield, if we've got beavers across the whole of this place, it could be just the most amazing thing. So for me, as an ecosystem engineer is what we call them, they're very much a keystone species that's creating habitat for other wildlife. They're a bit of a no-brainer for me because they're super cool. I love them.
I don't blame you on that choice.
And also they're amazing to watch. If you look on our social media, we've got loads of videos up there of them doing their thing, and so they're every time you see them, they're busy doing something, either chewing a tree down or grooming each other or building their lodge or a dam or something. So they're fun to watch as well.
Yeah, I saw the sort of pen yesterday, and it was amazing to see the little ponds and the dam they'd made and the lodge. It's just amazing how animals can do that to the landscape, and I just imagine it on a proper landscape scale. So what the change would be absolutely amazing.
Exactly. I mean, I think we've seen about a 95% loss of our wetlands in the UK over the years, and you could just see how beavers could bring that back really quickly. We'd have like instant results. So, as they say, just add water and you have that instant results of wildlife pouring back in. So for me, they're the real movers and shakers here, and just so excited to have them here.
So I hear sort of lots of success stories coming out of Knepp, but how do you think in the future, what is Knepp going to look like? How in particular are bird populations going to be? Are there going to be any species that are doing really well, some that maybe not doing so well? What do you think?
So as the scrubland kind of gets more established here, and we've got this lovely structure and a diversity of different age and structure of the scrub, we're seeing all sorts of interesting species turning up here. Of course, we've got, I'm sure people have heard about the nightingales and the turtle doves. They're real sort of like jewels in our crown, doing really well. This year we had over 50 singing male nightingales, which if you go out at night time and all you can hear the nightingale singing, it gives you goosebumps. It's just amazing. And then we have maybe between 15 and 20 turtle doves singing here each year as well. Just, in this, having a complex habitat provides those opportunities. But also wider countryside species like whitethroats and lesser whitethroats and garden warblers, blackcaps, all of these birds that need scrub to breed, but also for migration during the autumn. They're coming through and they're feeding up on the blackberries and the elderberries and all of these seeds and insects that the scrub provides. There's it's providing habitat for rare species, but also the wider countryside species that we're seeing in decline as well. They're doing well here.
Like yellowhammer here, yellowhammer all the time here.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, all the edge of the scrub and these lovely old trees that we've got here in the waterways, providing loads of opportunities for amphibians and reptiles, for foraging bats and breeding bats, really important populations of bats here as well. We've got all of the insects on, the pollinators that have got nectar sources all the way from the spring through to the autumn here. So everything seems to be thriving here. It's buzzing and it's alive. And there's not many places you can go where you get this feeling of like, a landscape that's coming to life.
No, you can definitely tell just walking around here just feels absolutely alive with, the insects and the birds. Like this morning, I was walking around and heard the turtle doves purring, and where else now can you really hear that most mornings?
It's a really special thing to hear the turtle dove, and I have to always pinch myself and remember I'm really lucky to be able to hear this like nearly every day that I'm here during the season. During the sort of turtle dove season, I can hear them. It's a very special, lucky thing that I can experience. And as you talk about sort of like the changes and potential sort of species that might lose out as a result of rewilding, and of course there will be winners and losers, but those losers as time goes on, it's going to be a sort of a changing landscape. So eventually it might be that we're not good for some of the species we're good for now, but we might be good for the next interesting species, and we don't even know what it is yet. So we have moved from being an agricultural landscape, so there would have been, for example, lots more skylark here in the past. So we've probably not got as many skylarks as we did historically, but there's plenty of skylark habitat around, so I'm not too worried about that. But of course there will be winners and losers, and there'll be things that are species that do particularly well in the kind of habitat that we've got here now, or the habitat we had here before. But what we are seeing also of interest, is looking at soil recovery. We're seeing, you know, under this sort of rewilding management, that we've got soil making a huge comeback with, you know, carbon being sequestered in the scrub and the soil. We've got mycorrhizal fungi making a big comeback as well. So it's like there's loads of, you know, all the microbial biomass in the soil is recovering. So there's loads of benefits. You know, it's very easy and tangible for us to talk about birds because we're both into birds, aren't we? But actually there's loads of stuff going on underground that is much more harder to monitor, but it's going on, and we're just
vital to the ecosystem.
Exactly, everything's from the ground up, and we're just collecting loads of data about the soil at the moment, so that's very exciting. And of course, ecosystem services, you know, holding back flood water, slowing the flow down when we're getting heavy rainfall, which we get quite a lot of these torrential downpours these days. You know, the scrub and the soil being in a much more kind of recovering position helps to hold back flood water a lot more. And providing green space for people is really important as well. So I think that's you know, something to sing about.
Definitely.
I think.
Well, there's so much going on here, and you know, it's been great to see over the last few years, and what you're doing here is absolutely incredible. So thank you very much for speaking to me.
Absolute pleasure.
And yeah, hopefully see you around.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should go and look for some purple emperor butterflies. They're on the wing right now.
Definitely, yeah. So unfortunately, this marks the end of my video today here at Knepp. It's been great to walk around and see some lovely wildlife. Although we didn't see things like purple emperor and turtle doves, I was lucky enough to be here all of last week and wake up to the beautiful sound of purring turtle doves, and I also got some really great views of purple emperors. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you can, please donate to my Just Giving page, where I'm trying to raise £2,100 for the BTO. I'm at 35% currently, so thank you to all of you that have donated. I'll catch you on the next one.